So I think when it comes to feeling lost or having bad mental health, journaling is a really powerful tool, and I'm going to explain my process of how I journal personally and when I journal personally. It's not like every day because I can get just like carried away and write for hours and hours. I don't want to do that every day. Obviously, that's just a waste of time. Going to give you less benefit than it like going to give you less benefit than it takes away from your life by taking all the time. But I'm also going to explain some alternatives. Like I made a video a while ago called Walk, and I'm going to go through that video and just some other ways which you can get the same benefit as journaling without actually doing all the journaling. So firstly, I'm going to go into my actual like when I journal. So I journal basically if I ever feel down or lost or anything, then I'll journal if I haven't done something else which is an alternative of journaling. So sometimes I'll just get my book out and I'll just write about my life in the situation and my situation currently. A lot of the time you realise your situation is actually really good, and what you can do is look back and you can be like, oh, I wrote that I wanted this, I got that. So it's like you've got all these things to be thankful for because you've got like most of the things you wanted. You've got most of your goals. And sometimes you don't get all your goals, but in general, I've got most of the goals that I've set myself in my life. So it's like when you've got it all written down, because in the real world, you're going to focus on the failures. But if you're writing about the positive things, then you're just going to actually be reminded about all the good things that have happened, like that have had these failures scattered like in between them. So it just puts it into the right perspective for you when you journal and write it down. But that leads to another point, which is like if you ever feel like, well, I haven't journaled in a while, like don't journal on your phone, journal on a piece of paper or a notebook, because you want it all to be in one place and you want it to be permanent. You don't want this to be just something which you can accidentally delete when you don't feel like having this because it's a bit too personal. So like you want this book to have really personal stuff in it so that you can look through it and find out, like just read about your life. And when you're older, you're going to be really thankful to see a book which has this your thoughts when you were like a few years ago, when you were a few years younger, or like in 10 years time, I'm going to be so happy that I've had my thoughts written down from 10 years ago. Like, that's going to be crazy, isn't it? So yeah, so if I feel like I haven't written down in my journal for a while, then I'll write in my journal. And that's because I mentioned that point because I'm giving you alternatives. So you can do these alternatives, but I recommend going back to this writing down because it's just very useful over time. So alternative number one is the walk video I made. So you go out on a walk and you just talk to yourself out loud and you put all of your life, your thoughts, your goals, your perspectives into words. Does the same thing as writing on paper in the way in which it actualizes what's gone on. And if your life is really going well compared to what it was a while ago, you're actually going to be just saying that. And when you speak your life, it might seem really negative to you in your mind, but in the real world, it might be really positive. So realistically, you got to just get these out into words like actual English instead of just feeling them as feelings. Because if you're feeling your life as a feeling, it's really fragile. It's not like definite. Whereas when you actually tell yourself what your life definitely is, then you can actually just represent your life and know that your life is the way which you're saying it is. So yeah, another one is just sitting still for a long time and thinking and pondering. So I think pondering is just sitting still for a long time and thinking. So yeah, just pondering. Now I don't really do this one personally. I'll go out on walks and I'll talk to myself, or I'll write down. If you sit and ponder, you can just do the same sort of stuff, except it's a bit less effective than the others, I'd say it's just a worse version of the others, so I honestly don't recommend it. But if you can't get on a walk and you can't keep your journal safe enough, although I would say just get a journal anyway. Stuff it in your pillow if you have to, like whatever you can do to keep it safe. You can literally, if you've got a blazer or something for school, keep your journal in your blazer. Like just don't take your blazer off, don't let other people have it. If your parents are going to go through your stuff when you're gone, just keep it in your blazer. Just you want to keep your stuff, you want to keep it personal, but you want to just make sure that you've got it on with you at all times so that no one can take it and no one can look at it. So yeah, that's there are other ways, so I'm going to think of Another way is they're all just variations of like writing stuff down or speaking stuff. So I've basically explained the whole thing, so I'm not going to drag it on anymore. You can work out other ways, to be honest. Like, you could do any activity and just think or write or talk about yourself. You could go to therapy and something, or something. Anyway, that's it. So that's literally the whole video. So have a good day, goodbye, see you in the next video, and subscribe if you're new here, because I'm going to be posting twice a day for a little while now, still. So yeah.